Hey, yes, we're on air. Hello, welcome to Jan and Jeff. And I have forgotten what number this is, but it's so
Doesn't
good to
matter.
have you back, Jan.
Hello, Jeff. How you doing?
I'm doing fine. I'm doing fine. We've been away.
Yes, I have. I spent 2 weeks in California, my native homeland, I must say.
Good, and mine
And
too.
yeah, yours too. And uh, I thoroughly enjoyed myself. The weather's always nice. I went from, boots to sandals and back to boots, and that's okay too. And but it's interesting because I've been doing this for so many years between the two countries, and I've seen so many changes. But this time I was really 2 weeks was really enough for me. I was happy to come back home to my. I guess I've become a country bumpkin at heart. But the pace in Southern California is just so frenetic. I can't think of another word. It's just, even my family, it's like, okay, what are we doing? We have to be doing something all the time. Or I don't know. I don't know how to explain it exactly. But I
You
was
have to
really
always
happy to,
be in a, you got to be in
yeah,
a hurry, even if you're going nowhere.
yeah. I was just really happy to come back, and I'm looking forward. Well, now I'm kind of working a little bit more than full time to because one of my colleagues is now on vacation. But I'm looking forward to next week when I go back to 24 hours a week, and there's stuff I want to do in the garden and some cooking and just some, I think we're going to be doing Thanksgiving this year. You and I will have to talk about that.
Yeah, we have to talk about Thanksgiving. Yeah, we have our turkeys going to be
Oh,
ordered,
okay.
ordered and specifically killed for us. So turkey or
Okay.
turkeys. So
Okay.
what did you bring back?
Oh, I did. Okay. And like I said, I think it gets worse with age. I brought back, let's see, there's 240 sheets of bounce.
Ah,
And it says there is now 4 in 1. Well, I missed stages 2, 3, and 4. I don't know what they've added that's different for me. But you know what? You can buy these little dryer sheets here in France, but you can only buy a box of, I've only been able to find a box of 15, and it's for like 2 or 3 euros. So, this is why I do that. And the only reason why I like this so much is because I do have a dryer. Like, I know everybody in France doesn't, but I do have a dryer, and this takes away the static clean.
okay.
I'm as human as they come.
Yeah, you know exactly. I
I,
understand.
it just sounds ridiculous, but I've just kind of gotten used to that anyway. And I brought back 1,000 Q-tips.
Move over to your left, the box.
Okay, let's see, 1,000 Q-tips.
Wow.
And I think it wasn't even $3, and it's the mark Equate. Maybe we shouldn't be sharing. Who cares? But Johnson and Johnson, I think, was even 50 cents more, which I could have done, but don't really care. But the thing is I realized why I do this before I talked about it was because the largest quantity you can buy here that I've ever seen is 160.
All right.
And a little bag, you just go through them like crazy. I don't know. They say you're not supposed to use them, but anyway, I buy Q-tips, and I have like a year's supply of that, and I don't have to buy. Anyway, and a last little silly thing that we get in the States that my French boss here just fell in love with is this Tide to Go. A lot of Americans know about this, and I found out through an American that came and stayed. It's a little stick that you can carry in your purse, and if you drop food on yourself, which all of us do eating here, then it's like an instant stain remover. So you just pull it out of your purse and you just,
Well,
stick it
you know
on.
what though? If you put wine, you know that you're supposed
I,
to put salt.
I know, I know. Now, I don't really know how this does on wine. It says on the road, and actually it's in French. It says sur la route. And then it says coffee break, a pause de café, or out to eat au restaurant. Helps remove many fresh food and drink stains. Doesn't say anything about wine. But, I wear a bib now when I drink wine. Avoid the whole stain issue.
We get
But
to a
anyway, so
certain-
that was my fun little thing from the States, and I'm glad to be back in my little country home down here in the South, and to be back on kind of a normal pace. And I'm just going to let the world, you know, I couldn't go back and work there now. I just, as much as I, you know, love Southern California, I couldn't go back and be involved in working. It's just, I can't stay up with the pace anymore. It just doesn't interest me, I guess, is the truth.
One of the things I wanted to do as a test, and I had contemplated doing it, but I don't think I ever will, is to work in a McDonald's in France and work in a McDonald's in America.
That would be a good thing to do.
It would be very interesting to do because it's a chain. So in theory, everything should be pretty much the same, but I bet you it's not.
Yeah, yeah. There's such a, you know, there's still just a real different mentality. And that you can never change, and we don't want to, because that's what makes the two cultures, you know, fun and different. And when you talk about, you know, values and all of those, we get down to the ingrained, hereditary, ancestral, you know, things that are just part of our makeup and who we are as a cultural, as a people. And there's still just really a difference. So that would be an interesting thing to do.
I thought about that too. I could do it.
Yeah.
I don't know how it works in America or France.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, maybe we could just go in and spend the day instead of actually being hired and work. You know, we could kind of interview and record it. But just talking, as long as you brought up McDonald's, you know what I did here is that because there was some show on how the hamburger is really, the gourmet hamburger is really le grand tendance. It's really the thing here in France right now. And Burger King, you talked about Burger King coming back into France. Do you know who they just bought? They bought all the Quicks.
That's right. I heard about that.
Yeah, and Quick is a Belgian fast food that's, you know, McDonald's biggest competitor. If you don't live here, you know, I'll let you know. But yeah, so, and there's Quicks everywhere. There's two McDonald's in Montélimar and one Quick, and so Burger King just bought out Quick, so they're going to come in full force. That was their biggest thing, because it's, you know, as Americans, we say, oh, location, 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 and they were having trouble finding good spots.
So they might be, okay.
Yeah, so that's why they made a proposition. It was almost easier to go and buy out another chain than to actually start up and try and pay these large sums for locations. So
oh, that's an interesting idea. Yeah, I had heard about that, but I didn't understand exactly why. But now I understand why.
Yeah, yeah. They've got great locations, and they just come in and they change their, you know, whatever they're going to change to make it Burger King, and there you go. We've also got a third American fast food chain coming here to Montélimar, which is KFC.
Go, you know what? I'll be real.
I know.
I'm gonna be on. We went and had in America, in Los Angeles.
Yeah.
We had a KFC.
Yeah.
And I was incredibly surprised. It was not bad.
Yeah. I have to admit, I love the taste of Kentucky Fried Chicken, but I never feel good after I eat it because it's so greasy. I'm not used to the heavy oil.
I think the taste is good. I don't think it's probably it's probably not very good for you, and the chickens are probably not raised in a very humane way because they're probably mass produced, which is free range. Maybe in France it's going to be a free range chicken. I can't say that, but anyway.
Yeah, who knows? We haven't investigated. We don't really know, but they're deep. They're deep. Yeah.
And the calories and stuff. I had one piece, and I was really surprised. It was actually, when we were in Paris, we saw one, and I've seen a couple. My son wants to go, and I've never gone. Just because. Yeah. Well, you know, there's that whole urban legend about why it's not KFC when they don't see chicken anymore, but you get all that nonsense and stuff.
Oh.
Anyway, you
know what? That reminds me of a big billboard that I saw in California a couple years back. There's another chain in California called Chicken Filet, and they have these great advertisements. It says there's a cow, and the cow says, "Eat more chicken." Go to Chick-fil-A. And I just thought that was great. Here's this cow saying, eat more chicken.
It's really, really good. I think it's a good idea.
Yeah, yeah. But, coming back to KFC, the Colonel started it, I think, when he was in his 60s or 70s. I'd have to read again about it. But
there was a Colonel Sanders, yeah.
Yeah, and he started it in his, I think, well into his 70s. He might have even been 80. You could probably Google it and find out right away. But he came up with a mixture of spices, and that's what the original flavor is. And I do like those spices, but like I say, the chain has changed so much over the years, and now it's just so deep fried. I'm not used to that grease. But boy, those I think there's 11 spices that make up
11 herbs and spices.
Right, 11 herbs and spices that make up the KFC. So anyway, we're going to have a KFC here.
What they should do is they should do a KFC, the flavoring with a poulet de breast, a breast chicken.
Oh, right. Well, now that could be good. That could be good, right? Because you've got those great chickens where you are.
Well, we are, yeah. Well, we have the family. We're not that close, but we have someone in the family who grows them. So all our chickens are breast chicken, and we usually have one on Saturdays now, or Sundays. We have one, and they last. And then my wife will make we pretty much use everything except the bones, and she cooks a rice with them. Right, cooks them down into a soup. Yeah. Yeah. Well, it's actually, she cooks them into a rice and cooks off. It doesn't really make a soup. It's more rice. Oh, okay. Well, you know why they say that when you're sick to eat chicken soup is because there's a natural antibiotic in the bones. Oh, okay. I didn't know that. So when they cook the bones in the soup, I mean, obviously, then you take the bones out. But when you cook the bones in the soup, it brings out a natural antibiotic. Okay. Yeah. Well, so there you go. You know something new. I learned something new. On that note, we will call it an episode. Right. And just so you know, in the future, I've got some really fun food things. So we're going to kind of keep this up. We won't discuss bounce very often. All right, Jen. That's like coming home. Okay. Thanks, Jeff. We'll talk to you real soon. See you soon. Ciao.